Air India Flight 171 was cleared for takeoff just before 6 a.m. local time. The skies over Ahmedabad were clear. Visibility was good. It was a calm morning. On board, 241 passengers settled into their seats, some sipping tea, some texting loved ones, some already drifting into sleep for the long flight to London. What none of them knew was that this would be the final flight of their lives. Just 30 seconds after leaving the runway, the aircraft, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, slammed into the ground near a densely populated area. The impact shook the earth. Flames erupted instantly. Homes and vehicles were caught in the blast. 19 people on the ground were also killed. Only one person, a crew member seated at the rear of the aircraft, was pulled from the wreckage alive. It took investigators less than 48 hours to recover the black boxes, to compact devices designed to survive even the most violent crashes. Inside them, the truth was waiting. As engineers and safety teams decoded the data, a disturbing picture emerged. The 787 had experienced a sudden and total loss of engine power, not on one side but on both. Just seconds after takeoff, both engines failed. In the world of commercial aviation, this is almost unthinkable. The Dreamliner is a state-of-the-art aircraft built for redundancy and resilience. So, how did both engines fail at the exact same moment? Investigators now believe the issue started before the wheels ever left the ground. Their attention turned to the aircraft's fuel control system, specifically the switches that regulate fuel flow to the engines. These switches must be set correctly prior to takeoff. If they are not fully activated, the engines may lose fuel supply as power demands increase during climb-out. Early readings from the cockpit voice recorder suggest the pilots were unaware of any problem until it was too late. The engines surged, then sputtered, one dropped out, then the other. With no power, the aircraft stalled and rolled left, descending rapidly into the neighborhood below. There was no mayday, no chance to return to the runway. From liftoff to impact, under 30 seconds. The captain on board had more than 12,000 hours of flight experience. The co-pilot was recently trained on the Dreamliner platform. They were a qualified crew. But no amount of training can compensate for mechanical failure at 600 feet off the ground. Air India's response was swift but sobering. Hundreds of wide-body flights were suspended. Maintenance protocols were overhauled. Every aircraft of the same type was sent for inspection. Engineers were told to double-check fuel systems, switch alignment, and software interactions. The government announced a formal aviation safety review, involving not just pilots and airlines, but airport staff, regulators, and the oversight agencies responsible for certification. And yet, for many in India and around the world, the same question lingers: how could this happen? The Boeing 787 has flown millions of hours since its launch. It is one of the most widely used long-haul aircraft in the world. But this crash, the first fatal incident involving a Dreamliner, has exposed a weakness few expected. Boeing itself has come under renewed pressure. Lawmakers and aviation analysts have called for deeper audits of system redundancies. Lawsuits are already being drafted. The company, still recovering from the 737 MAX crisis, now faces fresh scrutiny over its newest flagship jet. But amid the investigations, the press conferences, and the technical breakdowns, there are quieter stories. Personal stories: a woman who called her daughter moments before takeoff. A family traveling home from a wedding. A young man headed to university abroad. All of them were gone in an instant. The black box didn't just record numbers. It captured voices, it preserved the last few moments of calm, and then the final burst of confusion as the professionals fought to save a machine that had already failed them. The data tells part of the story, the aftermath tells the rest. The skies will remain full of aircraft, flights will continue. But for those watching closely, this crash is a signal. A reminder that even in our most advanced machines, the margin between safety and tragedy is razor thin. The truth behind Flight 171 may still unfold piece by piece. But one truth is already clear: aviation never stops learning. And every black box speaks if we're willing to listen.